Hi everyone, and welcome back to today's live IELTS sessions. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. Welcome everybody. We are looking at IELTS Speaking Part 3 in this class, and the topic of this Speaking Part 3 will be continuing with the cue card question that was the previous class about your best friend. We're talking about relationships and friends. Again, the way the IELTS speaking is designed is that speaking part 3 is a continuation of the part 2 topic. So whatever you were talking about in part 2 will continue in part 3. Now, again, this lesson, as with all lessons, is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. Ahmed, Nipa, Lydia, Tanvir, welcome to the class. Phuong, Constellation, nice to see members joining in as well. Amra, our chat moderator, is here with us also. It is great to see all of you. Habibi, nice to see you in the class. Students, we will be using the websites in this class to interact with students as we did in the previous class. This is aehelp.com here. To join the premium version of our course, again, it's this big red button that's just above my head. Click it. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access, doesn't cost much money. We want to help as many of you as we can to succeed in IELTS. We are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. We help thousands of students every week in their IELTS journey. Here are some of their stories. You can check those out when you have a minute and you're perusing the website. General IELTS, gieltshelp.com, same idea. Big red buttons right there. Click it and you are on your way to some effective and quick learning for the IELTS exam. Again, we'll circle back to these websites for volunteering in a little bit. Students, use the code IDEA9 for an extra 10% discount on the website, and download and link the apps from your app store, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. Instagram, we're almost at 100,000 followers for Academic IELTS _AE Help. And we are moving along nicely for General IELTS as well, GIELTS Help. Check out Instagram for reels and vocabulary videos and so on. For sending me a message, Adrian at aehelp.com and admin at aehelp.com. Amazon has our books, AE Helps Academic IELTS and GE Helps General IELTS. Again, everybody, the schedule, they go up today. You will see the schedule for live classes on the YouTube community board. Subscribe to our channel. It's a great way to get notifications for these live classes and new video releases. So just hit that subscribe button when you have a moment. The streaming schedule, we have live classes Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So this is the last class for this week. And then we start up again on the 10th of August with speaking part 1 for everyone. And we'll have writing task 1, academic, on the 11th for members, listening for subscribers, and then we'll have more speaking next Saturday as well. In the meantime, by all means, take a look at the videos on the channel. There's a lot of videos there for you to help you prepare. There's the latest release there for you. Okay, speaking part 3, let's jump into it. So speaking part 3, this is where the high band scores are decided for the IELTS exam. So if the examiner is thinking, hey, you know, this candidate is doing really well, they sound like a band 8, 9 level candidate, let's test that. Let's really see if they're a band 7, 5, 8, 8, 5, 9 candidate. Let's get into some detailed questions. So they get into these detailed questions. They won't tell you that, but that's exactly what they're thinking. And then they'll get into these detailed questions. IELTS speaking part 3. Make sure to speak and repeat. Copy what I say, copy how I say it. Let's talk about friends and friendship. Let's start by practice. So just give me some nice full sentence answers. What qualities should a friend have? Give me a nice full sentence answer with an explanation connected to part 2. Okay? So, what qualities should a friend have? I'll give you a band 9 level answer, and then we'll take a look and see what some of our viewers are saying. Okay? There are several characteristics that should be possessed by a true friend, including loyalty, and a proactive attitude. I mean that a person can only really be a friend when they support through thick and thin. Like when I got into trouble because I did not have a visa to travel through Macedonia, my friend suggested an alternate route through Romania. Okay, so that's true. And that connects to the part 2. If you missed that part 2 class, no problem. The idea here is to connect to part 2. So I'll show you why this is considered a high band score answer. The original question is, what qualities should a friend have? There are several characteristics. Okay, so I'm paraphrasing the word qualities. That shows the examiner that I clearly not only understand the word qualities, but I'm able to reflect it through paraphrasing. So there are several characteristics that should be possessed by a true friend. Possessed by is paraphrasing have in a kind of a more advanced way, including loyalty and a proactive attitude. Proactive means that they take action, so they don't wait for you to ask, but they do it themselves. Okay, again, some nice high level words. And then here comes the explanation. I mean that a person can only really be a friend when they support through thick and thin. Support through thick and thin, and through thick and thin, here, let's make that a different color. That's an idiom. Anybody know what that means, through thick and thin, as an idiom? So using some idiomatic language when it's used correctly is good. You should never force idiomatic language. Yeah, so Lydia says good and bad situations. Yeah, difficult and easy situations. That's what that means. Absolutely, Lydia. Like when I got into trouble because I did not have a visa to travel through Macedonia, my friend suggested an alternate route through Romania. There you go. So that was in 2005. It was actually the opposite. It was him that had trouble with it, but I just changed it to match the question. Okay. All right. So answer, explain, and then this is my example. And notice that I'm not using the word you anywhere. It's all about people, friends, and then me. Never you. I don't know you, the examiner. I don't know you, the candidate. I don't know your relationship and your story with your friend. So it's really strange to say you should do this, you should do that. Okay, so avoid the word you, thing, and stuff. All right. Anna has this answer for us for this question. Anna says, well, in my opinion, an intimate friend needs to be generous, kind, friendly, and friends need to give each other a hand if they have a chance. Okay, Anna, let's, it's getting a bit confusing, so this would be like a band 5 level. Okay, why? Because it's confusing and we were moving around in the subject, so let's take a look at this, Anna. Well, in my opinion, an intimate friend needs to be generous, kind, and give a hand if they have a chance. Like, if a person feels worried, a friend will ask about the situation and give possible solutions to remedy the problem. When I was down after failing an important assignment, my friend suggested contacting the professor and checking to see if I could rewrite the essay. Okay, so Anna, don't switch to you, okay? Especially when we're talking about emotions and relationships, it's really weird to deflect onto the listener, okay? Because they might have situations happening in their lives and they might not appreciate that, right? So we don't want to say you to them, okay? All right. So, well, in my opinion, an intimate friend needs to be generous, kind, and give a hand if they have a chance. Like, if a person feels worried, a friend will ask about the situation and give possible solutions to remedy the problem. When I was down after failing an important assignment, my friend suggested contacting the professor and checking to see if I could rewrite the essay. Okay, so answer, explain, example without repetition and with lots of clarity. All right, you're very welcome, Anna. All right, next question. Why are friends important? Give me a nice full sentence answer. Some questions, especially in part 3 in the IELTS, can seem strange. Okay, don't be surprised by it. That is the IELTS exam, especially in part 3. It's because they're checking higher level candidates. They want to see how well a high level candidate can respond in an awkward or strange situation. So if you have a question that is kind of weird, that's probably a good sign. It probably means that you're doing a good job and the examiner is just testing you. They're seeing, like, can you respond to this kind of a weird question? Like, why are friends important, right? I believe that friends are vital as humans are social creatures. We thrive when we can share our experiences and emotions with others. Friends, especially, are those people whom we choose to share our deepest feelings with, and this helps us to resolve many challenging situations. I know that if I weren't able to have the support of my friend when I broke up with my partner, I would have spiraled into deep depression. Okay, so there is your Band 9 answer. Why are friends important? I believe that friends are vital. So instead of the word important, I use the word vital. Why is that such a good piece of vocabulary here? Well, because vital means important for life. Okay? So it's even more accurate than just saying important. Okay? Good vocabulary is critical for those higher band scores. As humans are social creatures. Know this collocation. We are social creatures. We work together. We work best when we work together. We thrive when we can share our experiences and emotions with others. Friends, especially, are those people, a couple of commas here, friends, especially, are those people whom we choose to share our deepest feelings with, and this helps us to resolve many challenging situations. I know that if I weren't able to have the support of my friend when I broke up with my partner, I would have spiraled into deep depression. So notice again the example, and the example here is using an unreal condition, right? So again, high level vocabulary and grammar. They're testing for grammar range and accuracy. Students, if you're listening to me, that's a great first step. Remember to speak and repeat. So copy what I say, copy how I say it. Okay? Tatiana, crucial is good too. Vital is even better in this case. Okay? All right. Only You has this answer for us. Friends are not always important, but they are sometimes. For example, they can be your supporters in times of trouble. When I met a thief in Niger, my friends called the police and came to the rescue. Okay, careful here. So you're a bit off topic, Only You. So this first phrase here is not answering the question, and the examiner might interrupt you and say, why are friends important? So if you start giving this answer and you say, friends are not always important, but they are sometimes, I would be like, why are friends important? I'm not asking you when are they important or when are they not important. I'm asking you why they are important, right? So you have to be on topic, okay? So be very careful, Only You. So be on topic, okay? This is off topic. So here, according to your example and your explanation, friends can be vital because they can bail a person out of trouble. Okay, bail out means rescue. It's another word for rescue. Or sorry, I should say it's an idiom for rescue. Bail out, rescue. Okay, learn it. So friends can be vital because they can bail a person out of trouble. For example, they can be supporters. Take out the your, no your. Okay, they can be supporters in times of trouble. When I met a thief, you didn't meet the thief. Okay, when a thief in Niger tried to rob me, my friends called the police and came to the rescue. Okay, now Only You. It's an accurate high-level answer. So one more time. Friends can be vital because they can bail a person out of trouble. For example, they can be supporters in times of difficulty. When a thief in Niger tried to rob me, my friends called the police and came to the rescue. Okay, don't repeat words. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Again, repeat, write down new words. Okay? Is it important to have a best friend? And if yes, why? Right? Is it important to have a best friend? A lot of these questions, like this is a yes/no question, right? And there's a good chance that you will get one or two of these yes/no questions. They're called closed questions in the IELTS exam. So yes, they are, no, they aren't. Okay? Just a quick tip. Usually the answer is yes. Usually the easy answer is yes. Okay? So tip, closed yes/no questions like this one are common in the IELTS speaking part 3. Usually, not always, usually the best approach is yes plus explanation example. Okay? So yes, they are. If you start saying, no, they're not really important, I think it's okay if people just have friends and nobody really is, you know, their one chosen best friend. Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that, and it could be that way. The world is subjective, right? And I'm not going to tell you that you have to have a best friend, but it's a very philosophical and difficult argument of not having a best friend or having multiple best friends, right? So in the IELTS, what's your goal? Get a high band score, right? The higher band score, the easier your university application, the more points you get for your rapid visa applications for immigration. So you're not here to provide the truth or your real feelings or opinions or ideas. Your goal, your ultimate goal in the IELTS is to get a high band score, correct? If I'm wrong, let me know. If you're taking the IELTS to convince the examiner of some philosophical ideas, there's probably some cheaper ways to do that and better ways to do it. So I don't recommend it. So always think, okay, what's my easiest plan of attack? What's my easiest plan of approach here? Okay. So the easiest is, yes, they are. Best friends are really important. Okay. So yes, I think it is crucial. Here's where we can use crucial. Well, I think it is crucial for people to have a best friend. I mean, one friend that they confide in above all others. The reason for this is that they know this person is always there to support them, and the feeling is mutual. I know that Corey considers me his best friend also, and in the most challenging situations, I will not let him down. Okay? So explaining why a best friend is important is probably easier than explaining why it's not important to have best friends. Does that make sense, everybody? So in most of these closed questions in speaking part 3, where it's like, do you think, or do you agree, or some people have the opinion, do you agree? Usually it's I agree, and usually it's yes, that's the way it is. Usually, especially when they say most people. If most people think it is, it probably is. Not for sure, but it probably is. Okay? Yes. Fwang says yes. Nipa says yes. Lydia gives me a thumbs up. Okay? Yes, Amra, I don't think it's a biased answer. I think what you're trying to say, Amra, is it's an undecided or ambiguous answer. Let me just check what Tatiana is saying. Tatiana, I can't see what you wrote because you retracted. Oh, yes and no. Okay. So yeah, okay, that's a good point. Okay, so I'm going to take Tatiana's answer here in the chat because Amra's responding to this as well. Like, why not yes and no? No. So generally speaking, doesn't work. Okay. Yes and no. On the one hand, closest friends know our deeper secrets and provide supporting shoulder. On the other hand, we become too dependent on our best friend's time and resources. I don't, and here's a good point of this, Tatiana. It's like, do we though? Do we? I don't think so. I mean, if we asked our best friends, like, do you think I'm depending on you too much? I don't think my best friend would say I am, and I don't feel that way about my best friend. So I don't think this is true. Okay. And it's an awkward argument. Okay, so the IELTS examiner won't really judge the truth of your argument, but the problem is that when the argument isn't logically sound, it starts to become confusing. Okay, so avoid ambiguous. So Amra is absolutely right. So avoid ambiguous answers. Okay, avoid ambiguous answers like yes and no, or it depends. Okay, these lead to awkward, confusing, and weak answers. Okay, the expression that professors will often use for persuasive essays and presentations in university is they will say, don't sit on the fence. It's either a yes or a no. Indecision leads nowhere. Okay, don't sit on the fence. Right? Whenever I'm with a group of people and we start talking about a topic and then they're like, well, it depends. Very quickly we change topics, right? People are like, okay, let's talk about another idea. Where do you go from it depends? You can't really go anywhere. We might all agree and say, yeah, at the end of the day, life is subjective, and you're right, it does depend. Let's talk about something else, right? So you should choose a side, okay? Especially for the IELTS. It's easier, it's clearer, makes for more interesting conversation, leads to better vocabulary. It doesn't lead to answers that are too long. So, you can try it the other way. Try it both ways. If you're like, well, my teacher keeps telling me, say it depends. Try it both ways. Try to do an interview where you have a one-sided opinion, and try to do an interview where you have two-sided opinions, right? See which one works better for you. I have a feeling 99% of you will realize that choosing one side makes for better conversation. There might be 1% that says, hey, I do really well when I say it depends, right? So try it both ways. Okay, decide for yourself. All right. Make sense, everybody? It's good to be able to speak that way, but I don't recommend it for the IELTS, okay? Okay, next question. What types of activities do you do with your friends? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. What types of activities do you do with your friends? Now here, again, direct answer, very clear. It doesn't have to be the truth. It should just be more or less believable, easy to understand. I see a lot of thumbs up there. That's great for that last point. That's really good. Okay. All right. So, There you go. So just a quick answer there. What types of activities do you do with your friends? I enjoy several leisure activities, such as watching movies or going for walks with my friends, as well as some more energetic activities like sports, playing basketball or going water skiing. My friend Mike and I are planning to go out on the lake tomorrow for some fun with his dad's motorboat. It will be a nice way to unwind after this IELTS exam. Great. Okay, make it real. All right. Juan says this. We usually engage in exciting activities like biking, exercising, and jogging. Last week, we participated in a marathon. Neither of us won, but it was fun. Okay, good. All right, that's a great answer, Juan. That can get you a band 9, said fluently and accurately. Absolutely. It's a good answer. It doesn't have to be super long. So we usually engage in exciting activities like biking, exercising, and jogging. Last week, we participated in a marathon. You can even be maybe a bit more specific. We participated in a local charity marathon. Okay, so try to color your words. Marathon, neither of us won, but it was fun to run alongside each other for nearly 3 hours as we completed maybe 3 hours. You're fast. Nearly 4 hours as we completed the 42-kilometer race. Okay, good. A little bit more color, Juan. A little bit more color to a little bit more detail to the answer. It's a good idea, but definitely on the right track. Okay, so we usually engage in exciting activities like biking, exercising, and jogging. Last week we participated in a local charity marathon. Neither of us won, but it was fun to run alongside each other for nearly 4 hours as we completed the 42-kilometer race. Okay. All right, Domenico has this answer for us. Well, the activities I do with my friends are going out for meals, watching football games at a nearby pub, and arranging pickup football games at a five-a-side pitch near our houses, near our homes. Is a bit better there. We played a great game together last Saturday, and I even scored a few nice goals. Okay, good. Domenico, almost there. Just a bit of repetition that we're going to take out. Going for meals at restaurants. Just say going for meals. Going out for meals. Going out for meals is going to a restaurant. Okay, so you don't need to say to a restaurant. Generally, a native English speaker will not say going out for meals to a restaurant. They will just say going out to eat. So they will keep that very short because that implies that you're going to a restaurant. Okay, all right. Let's see. Who else? Okay. Simran, I appreciate you not spamming, but just asking. It's very nice of you, Simran. Simran says, well, I do multifarious activities in order to have fun with my bosom buddy, like hide and seek, playing with some balls, because with the assistance of some activities, I can easily rejuvenate myself. Simran, it's an awkward answer. You need to make it natural. This is a very unnatural answer. Multifarious is forced. It's awkward to use in this context. The accurate word that you're looking for there is multitude. Okay, so well, I do, and it's interesting here we use the article a multitude. of activities, okay? So that's much more natural. Students, if your language sounds forced or unnatural, like you're coming from an alien planet and you're using some weird alien translation device to try to communicate to humanity, you will get a low band score, okay? So you have to be really careful. You have to make sure you sound natural. You can't force language, all right? Well, I do a multitude of activities to have fun with my buddies, not bosom buddies, but my buddies, like hide and seek. Yeah, hide and seek is okay. Hide and go seek is another way to say it. Hide and seek. Hide and seek, okay, maybe. I mean, I guess some adults play it. It's more of a small children's game, but I guess. One game that I know teenagers or young adults like to play is Capture the Flag. Some pretty fun Capture the Flag games out there. Playing ball games, not playing with some balls. That's weird. Playing ball games. These activities, okay, help me to rejuvenate. Help me to easily rejuvenate myself. Strange English. Help me to rejuvenate. I played a game of Capture the Flag yesterday for 3 hours and it was a blast. Okay? So don't force language. All right, don't force language. So Simran, there's your corrected answer. Well, I do a multitude of activities to have fun with my buddies, like hide and seek, capture the flag, playing ball games. These activities help me to rejuvenate. I played a game of capture the flag yesterday for 3 hours and it was a blast. Okay, it was a blast means it was a lot of fun. And yes, you can definitely use that type of colloquial language and expression in your IELTS exam. Okay. So lots and lots of great vocabulary here, everybody. Make sure to pick out these key words that I'm teaching you, like through thick and thin, meaning a challenging and easy situations. A proactive attitude, meaning a person who gives energy without being asked to give energy. They just give the energy from their own will. Okay. Also, the word vital, and now the word multitude, hide and seek, capture the flag. So make sure to pay attention to those. Yeah, it's a good question. Ahmed is saying, why do we need to put a? Like, why do we say I do a multitude of activities? Because it's a grouping. It's a good question, Ahmed. It's one of those tricky parts of English speech where when we're talking about a group, it's a group. It's one group. Even though there are many pieces inside the group, the article a modifies the single group. And here it's the multitude of activities that becomes a group of activities. So it's a tricky one, but that's the way it works. Sometimes those articles are a bit of a headache, even for native speakers. Okay. Exactly, Ahmed, like a batch of activities or a batch of cupcakes, right? It's a group of cupcakes. Exactly, Ahmed. That's a really good example, like a batch of cupcakes. Okay, it's a batch of cupcakes, not just batch of cupcakes. Okay. All right, Nipa says I got it. So when you're referring to a group, it's a group, right? It's tricky to recognize that sometimes. Okay, let's get into some real interactions here. So even more like the real IELTS speaking part 3. Let's do some volunteering, everyone. So let's get onto the website. Amra just put the instructions into the chat. Go to aehelp.com. You can register a free account. I've said this before, but you don't have to have a paid account to interact, okay? it is a good idea to have the premium account, especially if you're in these classes, you know, once or twice a week. It will really help you to have that paid account. So click on the big red button to join the premium version of the course, just like that. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access. So even if you don't use it every single day before your IELTS exam, you can continue to use it after and continue to improve your English, like Chayani was saying in the last class, after you're finished your IELTS exam. All right, students, again, we're IDP affiliates, British Council partners, IELTS test registration centers, and right now we are going into the My Student account. You can access this through the free or the paid version, and here you see those computer-based practice tests, workbooks, lots more. There's just a ton of help there. And you have the student partner speaking. Okay, there's a lot of tools that you can use here for your preparation. And now you can click on that student partner speaking, say I accept the terms, meaning that you will be polite and responsible, and then you're going to see your peers in here. So we see Ahmed, Salama, Habibe, Lydia. You're going to see me in here as well. You will see me listed as master. It was either between that and controller. We went with master in the design. So master, send me an email, send me a message, ping me by clicking the blue button next to master, and just say, I want to try, I want to volunteer. Okay? And then we can interact. Okay? All right? I'm going to put on my headset so we can just get into it. I'm looking for those little orange numbers. It means you're conversing with me. Let's try Lydia. Lydia, are you ready? Lydia was quite quick. We'll give Lydia a chance. We've got lots of time, so lots of chances to interact. We'll do 1 or 2 questions each. Yeah. Asim saying, is under 18 able to give the exam? Yes. IELTS exam age starts at 16. Okay. You might need a parent to make some signatures or to give some signatures, but yes, I believe it's at 16 that you can start taking the IELTS exam. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Lydia.
Hello, Mr. Adrian. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you, Lydia?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking.
Awesome. Anything exciting happening in the UAE today, this weekend?
No, actually, I'm so excited for the university. It will start on August 21.
August
So I'm currently preparing.
21st.
Yeah.
Not 21. Not 21, Lydia. August 21st.
Oh, okay. August 21st.
Okay. The reason I said
okay.
that, sorry to interrupt you, Lydia, the reason I made that correction is because with your level of English, it's really awkward not to make those kind of like mistakes with the dates. So August 21st. So go ahead. What are you preparing?
Actually preparing some lectures that are related to my major courses, and also like I'm allocating ample time to improve my reading skills.
Okay.
Before going to the university.
So the lectures you're preparing because you're working as a lecturer as well? Like, are you supporting a professor or what are you doing?
No, because like I just want to take an overview before the professor started explaining the lectures.
I see. So you're getting ahead in the class materials. So you're reviewing the lecture materials, doing some reading. Good for you. What is the most exciting upcoming course that you've enrolled in where you feel like that's going to be a lot of fun or really exciting for you?
I believe it is a major course called Fluency Disorders. So we will learn about how each disability has different different types of difficulties that are related to enunciation, or like, to be more specific, like fluency disorders. I need to learn more about the types of disorders that are related to this disability.
Yeah, so just a bit of clarity for the viewers out there, Lydia. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're majoring in psychology, right?
No, my major, Mr. Adrian, is speech language pathology.
Speech language pathology. Okay, that's why I said correct me if I'm wrong, right? I tried to remember. I do my best, Lydia, to remember. I knew I was kind of in the right domain. And so you're looking at disabilities regarding fluency, so people's inability to continuously express themselves without hesitation or without awkward pauses, right?
Yes, right. And also, Mr. Adrian, psychology is very related to mind specialization. There are some major courses that it is mandatory to take in an SLP major.
Absolutely,
Like
yes.
one of them is research methods in psychology. So there are some compulsory courses I have to take in psychology major.
Yes, because the empirical method that is very developed in psychology is very important for a lot of other social sciences. Absolutely. Lydia, that's great. And Lydia, you're often on the website, and I know that a lot of people have questions about speech and speaking. So you can probably get into some really interesting conversations with some of our viewers or some of the people that are using the website, because we do get questions about, like, for example, stuttering and stammering and what can be done. And a lot of people say, like I stutter, I stammer, not just in English, but in my own language. So I'm sure you can probably find some pretty interesting topics to discuss on the website at times as well.
Yes, right, Mr. Adrian. There are like last week I saw 2 or 3 students ask that, what if I am stuttering? Is it possible to provide an excuse or an evidence? And you answered them perfectly, Mr. Adrian.
Yeah, and in fact, on the topic of IELTS, of course, it is exactly the type of person like Lydia that you're looking for in your area, speech pathologist, who, when they provide you with a documentation or paper that says, yes, this individual suffers from stuttering or stammering, which affects their fluency, then you can provide that documentation to the IELTS exam center, and they will adjust the marking and the speaking interview to compensate for that speech impediment. Okay, so Lydia, in the UAE, if you're working there in the future, you might have some people going to you and asking you to help them out with their IELTS test in this way. So.
God willing, Mr. Adrian.
All right, Lydia, let's jump into a couple of questions. Ready? Let's talk about friends and friendship.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, what qualities should a friend have?
The invaluable qualities a friend that should have are loyalty, empathy, and resilience. I believe that these 3 characteristics help in fostering social cohesion and a tremendous sense of camaraderie. My loyal friend Khulud is always optimistic and always try to be cheerful to overcome insurmountable obstacles.
Why are friends important?
Um, I believe that building relationships with friends are vital because they can improve our physical and mental health. They also make life more enjoyable by exploring remarkable places. Just like last week, I went with a group of friends to Alain Palace Museum to learn more about UAE cultural heritage to avoid boredom.
Okay, good. I'm going to stop there for a second. Yeah, that's band 9, Lydia. You're starting to really get in tune with what a band 9 response sounds like. So very controlled, very accurate, very nice pacing. There's exceptional connection from the answer to the example, or sorry, answer to the explanation to the example, and an outstanding use of vocabulary. So that is a band 9, no question about it. Okay, if you keep going like that, that's going to get you a band 9 on basically every scale, which is really nice. So a band 9, you can get a band 9 without a perfect band 9, and you can get a band 9 with a perfect band 9. What I mean by that is the examiner is looking at coherence, fluency, lexical resource, grammatical range accuracy, pronunciation, and at this point you're basically getting a band 9 on all of those scales. So that's really, really good, Lydia. Let me just jump back and share a couple of words or good vocabulary that you used with our viewers. So one of the reasons why Lydia is able to get these really high scores is because of a lot of the descriptive words that you're using, Lydia, through your answers. So you don't just say the quality that a friend should have, but you say the invaluable. So meaning the value cannot be measured because it's so important. So the invaluable qualities that a friend should have are loyalty, empathy, and you gave another one. You were very fluent. I couldn't keep up. And you said it leads to social cohesion. And it's this kind of, lexical resource that gets you that expert level of English use. You use the word tremendous. Tremendous, everybody, this is a really good one. Tremendous is actually a very nice replacement for a word that people love using in their reading and their speaking, and it's kind of too colloquial. Do you know what word I'm thinking of, Lydia? There's a word, it's a short word, people love using it in their speech and in their writing, in the IELTS and in everyday, and it's not actually the best word, but everybody seems to like using it. Do you know which word it is?
Is it massive or immense?
Not massive. It's a short word. It's only 4 letters, and it means tremendous.
Great.
No, huge.
Oh,
Huge. Huge is one of those words that's way overused in English conversations. Huge this, huge that, huge that. And it's kind of like, stop saying huge. So to stop saying huge, tremendous is a really nice synonym that's, I would say, a more advanced and nicer word to express huge. So it's a good one. So keep this one in mind, everybody. Tremendous. Use tremendous instead of huge at times. Get that in your speech or in your diction. Okay. Sense of camaraderie. Nice. Can you tell everybody, Lydia, what the word camaraderie means?
It is a feeling of, it is more about being friendly. So it is a feeling of friendliness towards people that you are working or sharing an experience with someone.
Yeah, another word that you could use there, Lydia, is a feeling of companionship.
Mm-hmm.
And the ability to rely or depend on the other. Do you know where it comes from?
Which one?
Camaraderie. Do you know where
camaraderie?
Yeah. Do you know what context that word comes from? Camaraderie. It's got a very interesting history. That word. Camaraderie comes from military, from war. Soldiers have camaraderie. Okay, so soldiers, because they are in a fight together against a common enemy, and it's a life-death situation. It's a very intense situation. Camaraderie is very much from the military or from the soldier scenario. That's kind of where it all comes from. Okay. All right. Insurmountable. Look at all these words, Lydia. Where do you learn all these?
Actually, like by reading a novel, I keep practicing on memorizing at least 2 or 3 words every day.
Good
I
for you.
really like to enhance my abilities in learning those valuable vocabulary.
Okay. Let's take this word insurmountable. Let's have a little bit more fun here, and everybody pay attention. This is really good. So Lydia's saying reading. Absolutely. Lots and lots of reading. I do a lot of reading myself also, and reading is a great way to learn because you learn from context, especially active reading. The word insurmountable. Let's break this word. What's the prefix on this word? So here's a little bit of speech and language analysis. Lydia, what's the prefix of the word insurmountable?
Able. It is broken into insurmount and able.
Right. So the prefix is insur.
And.
Okay. It's actually a double prefix. It's in together with sir. The root is mount, and the suffix is able.
Able.
Okay. Right. So that's the word broken into its pieces. Insur, it means cannot be achieved. Okay, and then mount, to be accumulated or on top. Okay, and able is can. Okay, so it's an interesting one. It actually means it cannot be counted. Insurmountable. Okay, all of that, all of those little weird little pieces means it cannot be counted. It cannot be counted. We are not able to count it. It cannot be counted. Okay. So it's insurmountable. It cannot be counted. It cannot be seen as a whole because it is so big. It's so massive. There are so many. So insurmountable obstacles means that it's an uncountable number of obstacles or difficulties, right? Very nice collocation, definitely at the band 9 level. Okay. IELTS examiners can pick up on that. Okay. All examiners in the IELTS exam, this is important for everybody to know, hold at least a bachelor's degree. Many of them hold a master's degree, and it is related to language or understanding language. So psychology, sociology, English education, speech pathology. So they hold degrees in these subjects, and they are very well versed in these words, just like I am. Okay. So they understand.
Okay.
All right. Great job, Lydia. Great job. Great job. So
Thank you so much, Mr. Adrian. I really appreciate your support. And whenever I have ample time in, like, even when I go back to the university, whenever I find myself empty, not doing anything, I usually go back to your YouTube channel and checking out what I missed out. For example, yesterday and also the day before yesterday, I missed maybe 2 or 3 lectures. So I don't like to miss anything, because you usually say like golden piece of advice, which is cannot be found on any website on the internet.
Thank you for that feedback, Lydia. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and that, that guides me. So I do appreciate that. It gives me feedback that what I'm doing is appreciated and it works. So thanks a lot, Lydia. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adrian.
You're
Enjoy
very
your
welcome.
day too.
Thank you. Bye, Lydia.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Lydia. Yeah, really great job. I mean, it is her cup of tea. Language obviously is Lydia's passion, right? Let's not forget her major is learning how we understand, develop, produce language, right? So she is an expert in the field. So it's no surprise. And it's nice to have her join in on these classes. Okay, let's keep going here. Ronit, nice to have you back. I know Ronit was volunteering. I see lots of others. We've got time. Are you ready, Ronit? Okay, thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. And Khalud, I'm glad that you're learning lots of new words. That's absolutely great. Tatiana, a lot of explosions. Kaboom. Yes. Okay. Oh, we've got a long list. Now I can see everybody. Should have kind of skimmed through there. All right, Ronit.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Ronit. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How about you?
I'm doing great. Good to have you back with us, Ronit.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right, Ronit, let's jump into a few questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Are most of your friends from childhood, or did you meet them more recently?
Well, most of my friends I have met recently. Some of them I have known from my childhood.
Can you explain a little bit more?
Yes. When I was in 7th grade, I met a few friends, and they are my best friends because I have spent a lot of time with them. I had a whale of a time spending time with them. Yesterday, I went to watch movies with them called Oppenheimer.
What are the best places to meet new friends?
I think the best places are high schools because there we get to know about most of the friends, and we make new friends there. And yeah, in universities also we get to know about some new friends.
Do you enjoy making new friends, or do you prefer to spend more time with your current friends?
I prefer to spend my time with my old friends because I have spent a lot of time with them. Um, Last month, when I went to watch movie called Oppenheimer, uh, when I was coming back home, and my friend called Priyansu, he kept calling me just to show that I reach home safely. So yeah, old friends are nice.
Okay, that is the end of part 3. That concludes the speaking section. All right, so that would be about a band 6.5 ish. Okay, 6 to 6.5. I mean, you're fluent. Okay, I think 5 examiners might give you 6, 5 might give you 6.5. You're answering the questions, but not with enough detail and fluency, and there's a little bit of awkward language along the way. So you have to be a little bit more careful with, a fluent answer, giving a good explanation, good example. Let me jump back and go case by case here. So here the question is, are most of your friends from your childhood, or did you meet them more recently? And then you said, well, most of my friends I have recently, I have met recently. Some of them I have met from my childhood. Right? That was your answer. Correct? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you said, when I was in my 7th grade, I met a few of my friends. That explanation, is it telling me that most of your friends are from childhood or from recently?
From childhood.
Right. So your explanation and your answer conflict. Do you see what I mean? Like, you're telling
Yes.
me that most of your friends are recent, but then your explanation, you're telling me that you met your friends in grade 7. So when your explanation is basically opposite to your answer, it makes it really
No,
confusing.
sir. I have said that I met a few of my friends.
Right. But
Yeah.
it's still opposite to what you're telling me. Even though you said a few of your friends, it's still opposite. Why?
I think the explanations.
So what's missing to make this clear? So if you say, again, so let me just reiterate this, okay? It's a really important point, because not only you, a lot of people make this a similar kind of mistake in their speech, right? So you said, well, most of my friends I have met recently. Some of them I have met from my childhood. When I was in grade 7, I met a few of my friends, and they are my best friends. To me, if you're saying this, it still sounds like most of your friends are from grade 7, your childhood. Why?
Because I haven't shared the details of my new friends.
Exactly, right? You don't actually explain to me how most of your friends are recent. That's what's missing, and that's a very important piece here for coherence. And your most important mark on the IELTS exam is your coherence mark, both in the speaking and in the writing. It has to make sense. You can use perfect English, you can use the highest level of vocabulary, but if the information is confusing, they can't give you a high mark, because it can't be considered good English or very good English. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what could you do here to make this clearer? What can you say? Just give me a little piece, a little sentence. How could you make this clearer?
Okay. In recent times, I met a few friends when I was in park.
Yeah, okay. Close. So you have the right idea. That's the right idea. We just need to make it a little bit better. However, recently I met at least a half dozen new friends in university and in the, I'm just making it up, cricket club that I started going to in my area. Okay. All right, so that would make more sense. So notice how different this is now. So let me just say this and then repeat after me. Well, most of my friends I have met recently. Some of them I met from my childhood when I was in grade 7. However, recently I met at least half dozen new friends in university and in this new cricket club that I started going to in my area. We have a whale of a time playing sports and talking about our majors. Okay, try it.
Well, most of my friends I have met recently. Some of them I have met from my childhood. When I was in my 7th grade, I met a few of my friends and they are my best friends. However, recently I met at least a half dozen new friends in university and in the cricket club that I started going to in my area. We have a whale of a time playing sports and talk with them,
Talking about our majors. Yeah.
talking about our
You
major.
didn't see that because of the delay. But yes.
Yeah,
Do you see how that makes a lot more sense now?
yes, sir.
Okay, so you really have to pay attention to that coherence. So I think that your English is actually quite good. You could probably get a band 7 when you're more coherent. Okay, so really focus on that
Yes, sir.
coherence. Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right, sounds good. Okay, Ranut, keep it up. Okay, keep it up.
Yeah,
Focus
thank
on
you,
the
sir.
coherence. All right, bye, Ranut.
Bye, sir.
Ronit, sorry, Ronit. Ronit. I don't know why I pronounced his name like that. All right, I have to do a quick shift refresh here. I can see that all my jabbering, I have been eliminated from the chat server. So just a quick shift refresh here. Some of you might need to do it as well. Sometimes you just kind of have to establish your connection with the server. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody, for Ronit. Ronit doing a great job there. Gopu, I did not forget. Let's check in and see if you figured out the issue. Gopu, are you ready? Okay. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. I'm all yours. All right, Gopu. Hi, Gopu.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Perfectly. Loud and
Oh.
clear.
Okay, I'm glad.
How are you
So
doing?
how are you? Okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm actually very good. I started to teach some students, regarding my subject, like
Mm-hmm.
so due to the I couldn't keep up with the time schedule, everything, and I stopped it. So I had to practice IELTS, and so
Mm-hmm.
I stopped it. So yeah,
Okay.
that's why I couldn't join, all of the sessions. I missed lots of sections, I know.
You missed us. All right. Well, we missed you too,
Yeah,
Gopu. All right.
Yeah.
Gopu, what were you teaching?
It's called MEP. MEP like mechanical, electrical, plumbing.
Mechanical, electrical, plumbing?
Plumbing, yes. It's for basically it's for system design. Like it is included with system design of all the basic amenities like electrical, mechanical, and plumbing, water supply, everything.
Water supply. Yeah. The B is not pronounced.
Mainly,
there.
I'm mainly I'm focused or specialized in electrical system design.
Electrical system design. Okay. Yeah. Plumbing, silent B. So just plumbing. There's actually two
Plumbing.
spellings. One spelling has the silent
Plumber.
B. Yeah, and the other one does not have the silent B. So there's even two spellings for it, but we never pronounce the B. It's just plumbing. There's no B. It's very weird because plum is also a fruit, right? So it's kind of a weird one. So no B. All right, Gopu. Let's get you going on some questions. Are you ready to talk about friends and friendship?
Yeah, I'm ready, I guess.
Okay. Gopu, as I've often said to you in the past, confident, clear, decisive answers, okay? No wishy-washy answers. Really focus on that. Yes, I am. This is the answer. This is the explanation. Okay? All right. Here we go. Let's do it. What qualities should a friend have?
Well, in my opinion, friends should a friend should have the ability to understand a person's emotions and you know uh, understand uh, and accept the way the other person is. This is the only thing they can have a good communication and have a good understanding among all the uh, life.
Is it important to have a best friend?
Definitely, having a best friend is a boon in my opinion, because uh, a best friend can support a person in all ways. For example, if one person is feeling very gloomy, the a good friend can significantly enhance their mood by just saying or cracking a joke or saying a positive things about him or about the scenario. Moreover, they can also give a moral support regarding their difficult times.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. Gopu, good answers. All right. Great vocabulary. So your fluency score would be about a 6. Your coherence score would be about a 6. Your lexical resource vocabulary score would be about a 9. 8 to 9. Your grammatical accuracy would be about an 8. Your pronunciation is a 9. And your grammatical range is about an 8. So clearly the fluency and the coherence, which are the most important scores, is where you need to improve. Because your other scores are so high, the examiner would probably still give you a 7. But like me, the examiner too really wants to give you a higher score. They want to give you an 8 or an 8.5 because I think you have really good skills in English. But you need to be fluent and you need to be coherent for that. So I keep getting back to this same advice, right? Is just be more decisive, stronger voice, more connected. Okay? Keep practicing that. I mean, look at your vocabulary. Cracking a joke. Great natural English, right? Cracking a joke is a very common way to say a joke or to make a joke. You crack a joke. And then after you said about you, and I was like, kind of like, oh, you don't tell the examiner like cracking jokes about you. It's kind of weird, but I get it. And I know that that's not exactly what you meant. It's easy to misinterpret, right? So take the you out of the conversation completely.
Got it.
Did you say, I just want to check this, in the beginning, did you say definitely having a best friend is having a boom?
Yes, boon. Boon is means like a gift, God gift.
Yeah. A boon, right? B-O-N?
Boon. B-O-O-N.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's a great word. Boon is a type of support. Yes, absolutely. It's a good expression. That's what I thought you said. But again, it's the emphasis. Okay. So definitely having a best friend is having a boon to rely on, right? Yes. Yeah, very good. So great vocabulary. Use it. Use it lots and use it effectively. Okay, Gopu?
Yes. I think I'm thinking in between my speech. That's why there is a small gap while I'm speaking. That it really affecting my fluency.
Yeah, just kind of a thought that I had in my head. An interesting person for you to interact with on the website would be Lydia, somebody who's learning about speech pathology, because I'm sure that she studies techniques on how to improve the enunciation and impact of speech. And I don't think you have a pathology, so your speech I don't think is considered as a disability or disorder. It's not. However, No, I don't
Yeah.
think it is. I don't think there's anything truly abnormal about it.
Okay.
But I
Thank
do
you.
think, that you could greatly improve the effectiveness of your speech so that you can get the desired results more. So when you're talking to a business partner or you're talking to a colleague, then you're much more effective in reaching your goal. And now, of course, I don't hear you in your own language, so I'm not sure if it's the same in your own language. But again, maybe just reaching
Yes,
out
yes,
to
it is.
Lydia, if Lydia is interested in talking to you about this, maybe she is. Then you guys could have a discussion about that, and maybe she could point you in the right direction of where you can learn about how to have more impactful communication.
Sure,
Okay,
sure. Definitely.
just a thought, right? All right, Gopu, thank you for sharing, and thanks for coming back. I love having you here
Sure,
with
sure.
us.
Always a charm.
All
Thank you.
right, you're welcome. Bye, Gopu. All right, let's give Gopu a thumbs up. Yeah, because he's great. Gopu, you are great. You have great language. You just have to be really strong with it. Okay. All right, let's take somebody else. Hens, we haven't heard from in a long time. Hens, are you ready? We've got so many awesome people. I wish I could just be here all day, but my wife and my kids might get upset. So, all right, Hens, are you ready? If you're there, if you're still hanging out with us, let me know, and we'll jump into a few questions. Okay. Lots of thumbs up. That's great. Yeah. Peer support, super important. Hi, Hens.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm absolutely good. How are you?
I am also doing great. That's a good answer. Hens, can you remind me where you are?
I'm from Gujarat, and you said that you had a lot of students from Gujarat who had really conquered the IELTS exam and are
That's
doing
right.
great in the present time.
That's right. That's right. I remember. All right,
Yeah.
Hens. Any questions, Hens, about the IELTS speaking section in particular?
Uh, uh, to be honest, I have some difficulties in content building during the answer uh, because when I am giving the answer, I start about thinking the different thoughts, and I could not make my answer coherent, and as a result, I flutter my answer.
That's a great question, right? How can I organize my thoughts and deliver my ideas fluently
Yeah,
in a structured way? Absolutely.
yeah,
Okay, let me start by saying this. Visualize. So think about the context. So here, let's say that, this first question of what qualities should a friend have. When we get this question of what qualities should a friend have, our first reaction is to just start thinking about the qualities, right? Like loyalty, responsibility, empathy.
yeah,
That's okay. It's okay to have these ideas. What should happen at the same time, and our brain is able to do this very effectively, is we should actually see a story. Okay. So when I ask you this question, what qualities should a friend have? You should immediately see a story with your friend. Okay. So
yeah.
what I want you to do is I want you to picture a situation that happened recently with your friend. What do you see?
Mm, I see that when I'm going from this problem, my friend helped me to get out from this and suggested me few solutions.
Okay. Specific situation. Give me a very specific real world situation that has happened with one of your friends where this was the situation.
Uh, just on the last weekend, I my bike was what can you say? My bike was shut off by the uh, emptiness of petrol, and I was in the midway. So I called my friend, and without any question, he just passed me the bottle of petrol, and I can fill the petrol back in the bike,
Mm-hmm.
and
Perfect.
I
Okay.
could solve
So
the problem.
Perfect. Okay, so what you want to do to build content and good structure is you want to think about the empathy and the support. And at the same time, you want to have this picture that, oh yeah, last week my bike ran out of gas and I was stuck in traffic. I called my friend, they rushed over, they stopped doing their work or they left school, they rushed over, they brought me a jerry can. It's called a jerry can, or you can just say a can of petrol, right? And help me out. Because they know that it is an awful situation and they can imagine how that feels, and so they help me out, right? So now you have all that information, now you can put it all together. So then let's talk about friends and friendship. Hans, what qualities should a friend have?
Personally, I think the person who are willing to be my friend should possess a few of these qualities, such as loyalty towards me, and some responsibilities, and could help and should help me through my thick and thin. S- for example, just last weekend, my friend once one of my friend helped me when I was stuck in the midway of a traffic by giving a jerry can, so I could start my vehicle back and go on the work on time.
Perfect. See how well you were able to structure and talk and answer? And that's because you had the answer and the situation in your head at the same time. So that's what you want to practice, right? When you're going through these IELTS questions, you always think, okay, the answer and the situation, the answer and the situation. Once you have those two, the explanation will lend itself. The explanation will naturally occur, right? So, a friend has to be empathetic so that they can help in times of trouble, like when my friend helped me out when I was stuck in traffic last week, right? So that's an effective way, and that's what we forget to do. One of the reasons for that, Hans, it's a weird one, but one of the reasons we forget to see situations is because we're surrounded by so much social media and visual stimulation that our brain just kind of shuts down and doesn't think about the real world as much as it used to in past generations. So we have to kind of go back to that, okay, think about these situations, right? So all right. Hans, let me ask you one more question. This time I'm not going to guide you, but the same idea, okay? So here we go. What types of activities do you do with your friends?
As an extrovert person, I love to do the activities with people around me. And to be more particular, I would like to do some adventurous activities with my friend in order to rejuvenate myself from the hectic schedule which I have in my weekdays. And for instance, on the last Sunday, I visited the park, which is at a stone throw distance from my home, and it was a great trip.
Okay, good. All right, yeah, so there, I could tell that, you had the idea and then you had this visit to the park. Just make sure you see it clearly and with detail. So I visited the park with two of my friends. We did some mountain biking, or we climbed some trees, whatever that adventurous activity was that you did, right? So a little bit more detail, but you're definitely on the right track, okay? So that was much, much better there, Hans. That was good. Yeah, you immediately realized, okay, I gave the answer. Let me just jump to what I was thinking about going to the park for some adventure. Hans, thank you so much for volunteering. That was a really great question that you asked, and I think it was very helpful. What's that, Hans?
If I would speak in this manner, what band score would I get?
Okay, that would be about a band 5.5 to 6. I think you'd get a 6 because you are fluent. You just have to give a little bit more detail and pay a little bit more attention to grammar, and then you'll get a 6.5 even. So 5.5 to a 6, okay?
Okay, so thank you.
All right, thank you, Hans. Bye for now.
Bye, sir.
All right, that was Hans. That was really good question. Thumbs up. Students, I'm going to call it a day there, but I encourage you to practice with each other. There are so many of you amazing individuals out there, and I think you have so many great stories to share with each other. Give each other critical feedback. Be open to feedback and criticism, and even ask each other for band score estimates. I think a lot of you now have a pretty good idea of what gets what band score, and if you're not sure, hey, send us a recording of your part 2, part 3 answers, and we can tell you what band score it is, and then you can be like, oh yeah, that's what my speaking partner said. This speaking practice, or this tool, it's for all of you to speak with each other. So not just me, but to interact with each other. Kave, Anahinta, Fuang, Domenico, Ahmed. So some students that I missed today, please do come back on Thursday, volunteer. I will keep an eye out for you and remind me, say, hey, I didn't get a chance last week. Can you give me a chance? And I will definitely pay attention. Okay. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, Amra, for moderating the chat, helping us stay on track and helping it to be focused on IELTS and IELTS related topics. Students, to sign up for the premium course, again, the big red button, get all the videos, get all the strategies, learn for success. General IELTS, gieltshelp.com, same idea. Click those buttons. You're on your way to some great English and communication. Next week, we've got a full lineup of classes, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I will post the schedule and we'll do a few other useful posts for task 2 essays that we did in the last couple of weeks. I'm planning to put some of those up as well. Check out aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com. In the meantime, I wish all of you an awesome rest of your weekend. I hope that you stay healthy, or in Amra's case, get healthy, and always just keep your eyes on the prize, push forward, and enjoy life. Much love to all of you, wherever you are. I'm Adrian, signing out from Victoria, Canada. Bye for now.